Hi guys, it's Emily from Nobel Novels and welcome to today's video. This is the top 25 videos tag. Now I was tagged to this by the lovely Gareth. He does tag me in a lot of videos because he's lovely and he shouts at my channel, but I don't tend to do tags. But I thought this one might be quite fun and I did have a video slot. You can see, by the way, it's officially autumn the day I'm filming this. I'm filming this on the 2nd, was it? 3rd? No, 3rd of September, and it's yucky weather, so I'm reading got my Cats, Coffee and Chapters t-shirt, which I absolutely love it. I love that. So, basically, apparently it was like top 25 and floppy videos, but we don't like talking about floppy videos. We don't like talking about videos that don't do well, because we don't like being negative. I know my reading catch-ups, weekly reading catch-ups don't tend to do as well. Tag videos in general don't tend to do as well. So I know what doesn't do as well, but I like filming the weekly reading catch-ups. They've been a godsend to me because it saved me having stress at like halfway through the month and at the end of the month filming those sort of wrap-ups. And I've now worked out ways of doing it. Like I share my stats on the 1st. If you're new to my channel, I will always share my monthly stats on my channel, on my, like a chatty bit on the community post. I'll share my stats for the month on there, and I also do it on my Instagram channel. So my Instagram channel is Nobel Novels as well. So I do a lot of my picture things on there. And yeah, so I've learned, I think this video, it was quite interesting to actually plan this video. It's going to take a bit of faff at the end because I'm not technical. You guys know this. I am probably like the least technical person going. So I had to go through my YouTube studios to find out my top 25 videos. I'm going to add links to all 25 videos at the end of this in my description box, so you can go and have a look at all of them. It would be quite interesting for those of you that are new to my channel or those of you that fancy looking at these videos. I think it would be quite interesting for you to do that. Because obviously with time-wise, I didn't have time to actually watch all of each of the videos. I don't think I watched all of any of the videos, but I watched clips from all of them just to refresh them, just to refresh myself, and just to sort of like, know what I was talking about when I did this video. Because I'm not going to be able to link them, and like people like Gareth and a lot of people like my sister would be able to do it. Charlie from Charlie Book Reads would be able to do it. She'd be able to like have a picture up there of the actual video and link it in. But I can't do any of that. I'm not technical at all. It is an obvious one, by the way, what my highest ranked video is. You know, any of you that know, it was my Alice one. That I'm straight away going to tell you that one. And I think for myself, I might watch that whole video actually at the end, like soon, because it doesn't do any harm to look back. So my numbers for my top videos will nowhere near be as high as a lot of my bigger booktube friends. I don't tend to get like massive rankings on my videos because just it is what it is. I just don't. I don't know why. I don't know what I do. But I don't do these videos for the rankings. Like I don't do these for like massive views. I just don't. Like I make what I make. I am who I am, and something that you guys have learned, I've learned because of you guys, is it's okay to be me. And well, now it has surprised me which videos have made it into this list. Some of them. Like I said, obviously my top ones it hasn't been, but you will notice a trend. So let's get talking. So I'm going to go from the 25th video, the video that ranked 25, up to the top video, and chat a little bit about them. I'll tell you the title, how many views, and a little bit about all the videos, but I won't go into too much detail because otherwise this video will be ridiculously long and Thomas may kill me because I've got the living room. Okay, so in at number 25 was the Friends tag original. So it was the first time I'd created my own original tag video on my own, like no other help. It was me that did it. And it basically, it was like a tag video, and each of the letters has a like question, like a prompt. So it's like F, like LINDS, and it's basically based on friendships. And that video did quite well. It did like 338 views. and I made it about 4 years ago. So it did quite well considering it was a tag video. It is, because it's like 4 years old, it was interesting to look back, and obviously I'd linked a lot of my YouTube friends in that at the time. Obviously, one of the things that doing this has shown me is obviously how pretty much all of my friendships have changed since I started, and how friends have come and gone over the years. And I did find that really challenging to watch back and look at how many people I'm not friends with that I was friends with, or how many new friends I've got. So that was quite interesting. I see that Ange from Ange's Book Chatter, who is not currently on YouTube, but she's still like on my waffle group, and she's one of the few friends that I've still got from there. And obviously my sister's being my link throughout this. But also like Kate Howe, like I linked Kate, and Kate is a friend an American friend, and obviously one of the hosts of Victober, and just that's been interesting to see how that, like, we've stayed in touch, like not close, but you know, we've stayed in touch and we've stayed friends, and I think that's quite sweet. But it was quite a hard video to make that friends tag, because I did have to create all the prompts. But it was when I was doing tags all the time, I thought, oh yeah, I was like, it was quite a fun idea to create my own tag video and talk about friendships, and it was one of those ones where you had to find a book for each of the prompts. Whereas now I like more chatty videos now. I do like sort of those a lot more now, which is quite interesting. I like just the chatty tags, and where you have to sort of think about things and talk about things. It's a lot easier than finding the book for this. But at the time, finding the book for the prompts was the way tags were going. And that was how YouTube's changed over the years. So in at 24, living with this, oh, by the way, the friends tag had, yeah, I did say it's the 338. So with only one extra view, living with disabilities in the winter had 339 views, and that was done 9 months ago. So it's probably my most recent video where I talked about disabilities, and it wasn't as, I consider I've got a lot of those disability videos, and Spoonie's kind of in this ranking. It was the first, it's probably the lowest out of all of those ones, but it was one I needed to do for me. Obviously we're coming up to we're now in the autumn, and I can already see my flares are coming back. I can already see that my disabilities are, so it was important to say how even seasonal stuff can affect people that have got disabilities. So yes, it's not one of the highest ranking ones of my disabilities video, but for me it was one I felt like I wanted to make, because I wanted to make people aware of what seasonal stuff can do and things like that. Like I said, it's probably, like I said, it's one of my most recent ones, but it didn't have loads of views, but 339 is still quite good, and I'm still glad I did that one. The next one is in at 23 is Jane Austen July TBR, and that was done 3 years ago. These days I think it's my only Jane Austen July TBR actually on here, which is really weird considering I've got a lot of like Victober TBRs. Yeah, that was quite weird that that's the only one that's actually in this ranking. It got 381 views, and it was done 3 years ago. These days I tend to include my Jane Austen July TBR, including in my actual July TBR. I don't tend to do them separately. Maybe I should. Do you guys think I need to do it a lot more? But yeah, that did quite well. It was 3 years ago. It was a summary video. It was quite interesting to see that I'd read quite a lot of those books, and I do remember reading them. I do love Jane Austen July. It's still one of my favourite readathons, but it's not quite as good as Victober, because it's specifically focused purely on Jane Austen. Now I've got I tend to read a lot of the retellings or the books, like I have a lot of books that are sort of set in the Regency era that I do, because obviously Jane Austen only has a certain number of books, but I do enjoy rereading my Jane Austen books every time. And that one, I think I read Pride and Prejudice for the first time, and I read it with Danny, so that was quite interesting to look at that. Now in at number 22 is my October TBR set that was done 5 years ago, and I had 386 views. I think that was probably my first Victober TBR. I'm looking because I'm still trying to remember. Yeah, it's probably it's actually my first Victober TBR. So the first year I did Victober, and it got 386 views, which isn't bad considering it was my first time. every year those rankings, as you will see, those rankings have gone up. I don't know if there's any years where it's not in the Victober TBRs, not in this ranking. I can't. For the life of me, I probably should have checked, but I didn't. It was really weird because it's had 386 views, but it is really weird looking back at that one because, God, like, it was the first year I'd done Victober. It was pretty much when I started my YouTube channel. It was the year I started my YouTube channel. And I chose Under the Greenwood Tree by Thomas Hardy, which is actually my least favourite Thomas Hardy. I did choose, I could see that I chose The Water Babies, which I did love, and maybe I won't reread that. So I did choose quite easy books, but I can't remember. I didn't obviously check every single book that I read in that TBR. But God, I was so excited doing my first Victober that year, and I was so innocent. And I raved about Katie, and it was one of the first ones where it's the first one on this ranking where I spoke about Katie. Obviously, Katie has hosted all of the Victobers, and she's been a consistent friend since I started YouTube. I will link Katie because Katie is one of my oldest friends, and it's to think she's actually been the friend that I've been friends with since the start. And our friendship's grown over the years, and she's the one that hosts all the BookTube meetups. Katie is amazing. Like, she deserves all the praise that she can get. Don't need to go on to it. She's brilliant. So I don't know if I'll link her because she is linked in. She's actually linked in about 1 million of these videos. You kind of get the theme that there's a lot of what's in a lot of these videos. But yeah, that was quite weird to look back at, and I felt quite embarrassed to look back at that old TBR, because I was very innocent. The sound's not amazing on that video, but it was quite fun to look back at that. Now, one that surprised me is my Page Toon books ranked, and that is ranked at 384 views. And I have not written down when that did that, but I don't think I did that many years ago. And that is very weird to think that I've actually got a ranking video on there. It's the only ranking video that's actually in this list. It was ranked at 21 on my list. Do I do more ranking videos? What authors would you like me to do on the rankings? Because that would be incredible to look at. It would be quite interesting to look at this, because I've never done any more of those, and I would like to know, like, I don't know which authors I've read. I think probably Stacey Halls, I've read all of her. Beth O'Leary, I've read all of hers. Elaine Everest, I've read all of hers. It would have to be an author that I've read all of them. So yeah, let me know down below if you'd like me to do more of those ranking videos, because it was good. I didn't really watch that video back because it is one of my more recent ones. But I know which Page Toon was my favourite book. Like, but it was quite fun to do. So considering it's a contemporary video, that one really has surprised me, that ranked at 21. So there are some surprises in this list. In at 20, and I've not written down how many years ago this was, because right, and I've not written down how many years ago they were, because it's obvious in some ways it's 20. In at number 20 is Victober TBR 2022. So 2023, I'm really seeing this. I am looking at this. Oh, so actually 2022 is going to be 2 years, is 2 years ago. Don't know how that works out. 2021 was weird. I don't blooming know, I have not written this down. But yeah, anyway, Victober TBR 2022. I actually have just realised I don't actually remember how I did on that one. But that one is actually surprising that it's lower in ranking than another video that was done after that, that was done before that. That's really weird that's actually, there's a more recent one. It's strange, isn't it? But yeah, that one got 389 views, so it still did pretty well. I don't remember all of that video as well as I should have done, because my brain is fried. 2022, I think that was the year I read The Woman in White. And I think that was the year I read another classic. So I was reading more Wilkie Collins. But I don't remember everything. But these Victober TBRs are in this list. Every single one of them are in this list. They're in just in different places. Do I know why some of them are lower than others? No. The oldest ones, well, that was because it was newer. My channel was newer. It would be interesting to know when people look back at these, they see those numbers change. It would be quite interesting to see if this video changes the rankings. But yeah, you can see Booktober's in it a lot. Like, obviously, classic literature tends to do well on my channel. It tends to get the highest views. Talking about that, in we go at number 19. So we're in the top 20 now. My classic bookshelf tour was done 3 years ago. It got 423 views. So that was a big jump from position 20 to 19. My classics have changed a lot. And I've realised when I was looking at my bookshelves to plan for a video that's coming up in October. In October, I'm filming my classics for 2026. And I realised I actually have a lot less books that are unread on my shelves. So I'm not going to do a shelf tour now. But over the next year, for next Booktober, I need to be buying a heck of a lot of more Victorian books and more classics, because I have got through most of those books on my classic shelf now have been read. And I found it really hard to find 6 books that are unread. So I know what I need to be buying, don't I? But it is harder to find classics in charity shops, and that's where predominantly most of my books are from. So I need to be doing more of that. But it is yeah, I had 2 classic shelves back then, and now I have 3. But my 3rd classic shelf now is predominantly my Daphne du Maurier's and Agatha Christie's. So that's why I've now got 3 shelves. So I do need to buy more classics. That's something that I've learned from that. But that was also done on CapCut, so the editing of that's really bad. Like, I don't like looking at it going, the way it looks, it just doesn't look right. Like, now because I've got more storage on my phone, I can use the iMovie app, which is free, and I can use it. I'm still not brilliant at it. I still need to get better at it, but it makes my videos a lot better these days. Now, in at number 18 is my Mental Health-a-thon vlog week 2. Yet week 1 is higher in my rankings. Week 1 is very, very high up in that rankings. Part 1. I think there's part 1, not week 2. It's part 2, I think. And that had 438 views. It was done 5 years ago when Mental Health-a-thon was a big thing with some. There are a lot of the hosts that hosted it now are not on YouTube. And a couple of the hosts that are on there are not on YouTube now, and a couple of the hosts I'm no longer friends with, because that's just the way friendship groups change. It was hard to look back at that, because that was set during the COVID, and it was set during the first lockdown. And both parts of this were very emotional to watch. I don't like looking at it, because I know my mental health was really bad when I was filming that, because it was during lockdown. It was a time when I was recovering from my neurostimulator operation, and it's really, really hard to watch that. I'm glad it got so many views. It's strange how doing that was vlogs these vlogs are the only vlogs that did well, which Booktober vlogs didn't. So I don't know if I should vlog something else, if anything else, why that got such high rankings, I've got no idea. In at number 17 is my London Booktube meetup vlog, and it was done a year ago, and it had 437 views. So that's very close to the other views, the other one. Again, it's one of the only Booktube meetup vlogs that have done well. It is the only vlog that's, I believe, on here, I think. I think that's the only vlog that's on there. Yes, it is my only vlog that's on there as well, other than the mental health one. So we are all going out to Bath and Bristol. I don't know how much I'll be filming, because I'm realising that I actually enjoy not filming and just being with my friends. But I think I will vlog it. I know me, I'm going to vlog it. I will vlog the next Booktube meetup, but I don't know why that one got more views than any of the other vlogs. I've got no idea. I do know that I love watching the Booktube meetup vlogs, and I think that was the last one with Alice in it. So I didn't really watch much of it, because I still struggle with watching things like that. It does break me into a billion pieces. But yeah, I love the Booktube meetups. They're incredible. I've got loads of Booktube friends, and some that I chat to more, some that I chat to less, but it's brilliant to watch those. In at number 16 is my Booktober TBR from 2023. and it had 448 views. 2023 vlogs. Again, I'm not going to remember all of the books I read. I don't even remember watching that. The 2023 one. That was only a couple of years ago. Victober is brilliant. Victober vlogs do well. I don't need to talk anymore. That was one of my more recent ones, so it's one of the ones that obviously I enjoy doing. But we're already on 20 minutes and I've still got another 15 videos to talk about. In at number 15 is Past and Future Readathon, and that was the announcement that was done 4 years ago. It was the first year I did Past and Future Readathon. I didn't host it this year. I don't know if I would bring it back at any point. If you guys want me to, let me know. But I'm just trying to be a bit more gentle on myself at the moment. It was the first year I did it. I did it with a previous booktuber, Reader Book Gem, who's again left booktube. It was our first year doing it. It was the first time I did that readathon. I then hosted it for quite a few years until last year, and the host changed and things changed, but it was interesting to look back at it. I had a lot of prompts out for that readathon. It's quite strange how many prompts I had. I don't tend to do that many these days, but it got 475 views. I'm still proud of the fact that I did that readathon. It's thanks to that readathon that I met, I became friends with Alice and Jem and some of the other booktubers that I love. So for that reason alone, I'm truly grateful for that. For that reason alone, like, I'm grateful that it's thanks to the Past and Future Readathon that I made some more friends. In at number 14, my Spoonie story that was done, had 483 views. It was done 2 years ago. There is another couple of disability videos that have got high rankings. My Spoonies story did do well. It did break. I had a lot. It was I think I did that in the first year I did Spoonies. First or second year I did Spoonies, and it got a lot of views. It got a lot of people that were messaging me. Spoonies has spread awareness of disability, and that's something I'm still proud of. Again, I should do it next year, but I'm not sure. It depends on how I'm doing. I'm not going to put any pressure on myself. Who knows what next year is going to bring. That's the thing. I don't even know if I'm going to do Spoonies, because Spoonies we sort of took a step back a little bit this year, me and Kat, because we're both not in the right place to do much with it. But my Spoonie stories is interesting. I think there are other videos, like I said, about disabilities that are on there, but for some that did well. I'm proud of myself. I'm still open and honest about my disabilities. But yeah. In at number 13, my top 5 historical fiction authors. It got 528 views. It was done 1 year ago. I think I've got a video at the end of this month where I'm going to do my top 5 historical fiction books. I think I was going to do top 10, but practically I think top 5 is probably more sensible, because I know what my top... Actually, I don't actually honestly know, but it's easier to pick my top 5 than top 10. But I do want to kind of look back at that. I didn't look at that too much, actually. And I'm wondering which authors are on there, and if the authors are on there are going to match up with the 5 top historical fiction books. The historical fiction videos do tend to do really well on my well. Historical fiction in general is something that tends to get more views on my channel. Although right now I'm more interested into fantasy than I am historical fiction, but I read more historical fiction. Like when you look at my top 10 books for the year, predominantly in that are fantasy. So I don't know whether I'll do more fantasy videos, or they don't tend to get as well. It's more soft fantasy or cozy fantasy that I tend to read, but historical fiction tends to get them more views. Don't know why. It is what it is. But I did get 528 views. So that is definitely an improvement. So connected to that, in at number 12, which is very strange, is actually is my historical fiction bookshelf tour. 552 views, and it was done 3 years ago. Again, I don't know if I'll do more. Those shelves have totally changed. A lot of my Tudor books are really similar on that. I've got a lot of the same Tudor books that were on there, but the other books are very different, and I've kept a lot of them. I'm still trying to do this whole reread thing where I'm learning which books I want to keep and which ones I don't. But that one did well. I might redo another one of that, actually, because my historical fiction has kind of changed, and that did well, so be interesting to watch. In at number 11, my disabilities, my story, that had 588 views, and that was done 4 years ago. So that was done a lot sooner, a lot longer ago than the other Spoonie story. Again, it tends to do really well. The Spoonies books, the video Disabilities My Story. It was one of my earliest times I did that. I remember getting a lot of positive feedback on how it went, and people found it helpful. So it's another one I'm really proud of because I did that. I am proud of those videos. They do get the views, but they also are informative, and they're not self-pitying. Please don't think I feel sorry for myself that all these videos I'm doing. I am doing it to spread awareness, not to feel pom-pommy. But anyway, I don't know why I said that. In at number 10 though is my Victober TBR 2021. That has more views than 2022 and 2023, which is really weird. I don't know where 2021 got the most views. It got 590 views. It was done 3 years ago, obviously. Don't know why, how that's all worked out, but it did. So I'm quite proud of myself that I did that. Again, Victober TBRs, they do well. I can't remember what I read 2021. Even though I only watched this video yesterday, I can't, for the life of me, remember it because my brain is fried. And connected to that, Victober TBR last year, which was 2024, that got 604 views. So that is my highest ranking Victober TBR. And again, that's my most recent. Why has that got more views than the other ones? I don't have a clue. I can't be, I am going to say I'm grateful. I wonder how this year's TBR will do. And I've already chosen my books for Victober this year. That's the video coming up probably the week after this goes live. I've already planned it. I'm organised. I'm ridiculous. The Victober announcement comes out. I plan my videos pretty much that day, my books that day. But that one got 604 views, so that one did really well. I'm really proud of that one. In at number 8 is my BookTube newbie tag, and that was 615 video views. It was my first video I ever make. I did it in the wrong way round. It was done in portrait rather than landscape. I have no idea how crap it was. I talk about things like, I talk about the infamous Harry Potter, because that was okay to talk about that at the time. I now know how wrong it is, but it was what I was talking about. It was done crouched up in my bedroom. I am totally and utterly embarrassed by that video. It's cringe, cringe, cringe. So in some ways I'm telling you don't watch it, but some of you can because you'll make you laugh. In at number 7, is my Bronte readathon announcement that got 662 views. It was probably I think that's my only readathon I've done on my own. I'm proud of that Bronte readathon. It didn't get as many views as a lot of the videos I did that month didn't get as many views, but the announcement did really well. I'm still really proud of myself for doing that. I still love the Brontes. I'm not going to be embarrassed by that. I love doing that readathon. I love doing anything connected to that because the Brontes is my history. We all know that. So that announcement, that video, trying to get redo that readathon on my own was quite challenging. I did love doing my live with Katie that month. That was a massive high on YouTube. Even though I don't know how many views that got, but that was a massive high doing that. In at number 6 is my middle grade bookshelf tour. It got 709 views. It was done 4 years ago. That was my boo-boo one because even though it got the most views out of all the bookshelf tours, Mia was like a child at the time, and she was actually in the video showing the books because I was filming it. And obviously because of that and because it was middle grade, it couldn't have any comments on it. It was done differently and it was a big time boo-boo. I didn't realise how bad that would go. So obviously middle grade, you can't sort of do that. I don't have middle grade bookshelves anymore. All my middle grade is mixed in with my other genres now. But God, I remember wondering why I didn't have any comments. It was because of the child rules and everything like that. But it is really weird looking at Mia like all those years ago. I'm just going to press pause because the door is going. Turns out that was just Mia knocking on the door, and I really can't believe how long this video is, and Thomas is going to kill me. Right, in at number 5 is my classics for 2022. Obviously every year I do my classics or classics to reread or things like that. So that's the first one of these that's in that ranking. It got 767 views. It was done 3 years ago. Obviously my classics videos do tend to do well. I am quite proud of them. I am doing one for this year, but I've realised, because obviously I do know it does get the views, but I've realised I don't actually have that many classics on my shelves that are unread. So I don't know how that's going to go for next year. So I think I need to be buying quite a few more classics. Is that or next year I'll be doing rereads again. but we're going to wait and see. But that is quite strange how I had lots more classics in that video than I do now. It's really strange because I looked at having all these classics and I did have some challenging ones. Things have changed, so it's quite weird. In at number 4 is my Living with Disabilities, which I did 1 year ago. That's probably my more recent disabilities one. It is my most recent disabilities one, and that has the most views. That has 770 views, and I'm really proud of that one. It was done probably at Spoonie's time, I think. It is talking about what it's like living with disabilities. I talk about practicalities, how we work around it, what we do with it, and that is one I'm really proud of. I am proud of it. Like I said, I don't need to keep going like that. But that was done well. That's ranked at number 4. We're near the end now, so Thomas hopefully won't kill me. We're now into the top 3. Mental Health Zone Vlog Part 1. It had 952 views, because obviously back then I didn't have the editing to do vlogs. It was done 5 years ago at COVID. Like I said in the other one, it has broken me, like watching that. That was probably one of the hardest ones to watch, because set of COVID, my mental health was bad. It was living what it was like. It's really struggle, and the mic was really bad on my phone then, so that was really challenging. In at number 2, and this is the highest one that was obvious to everyone, and this is Classics to Reread in 2024, and that was ones that I did about a year or 2 ago. It got 2.1k views, so this is my one that's got the most. Talk about a big jump from Mental Health on to 2.1k. Why that got 2.1k out of the top 2, this is the only one I've got no idea how that did so flipping amazingly. I would love to know, any of you guys can tell me how that got so many views, because I do not have a flipping clue. It is interesting to reread classics, and I do think that's something to do probably 2026 to 2027. That'll be probably my goal, to do that then. But God, it's really weird. And I do think rereading books is helpful, because especially with classics, because you discover if you love them. I know I've reread like Wuthering Heights and Jane Eyre about a million blooming times, but they're my favourites, so there you go. But I don't have a clue why that video did so well. And then in at number 1 is obviously my highest ranking video, and that is In Memory of Alice, and that was done obviously when Alice died, so just about a year and a half ago. It got 4.5k views. It was obviously why that was going to rank high, because it was in honour of someone that deserved the love, and my friend, one of my closest friends that we lost. And it is one that I would like to I am going to watch it all very soon when I've got the strength to watch it, because it does break me, and it was an emotional one to make. It was an emotional one to watch, but I'm glad I did it in honour of Alice, and I know she would like that, something like that. She would have been embarrassed as hell, because she would be like, she wouldn't believe that it got the love because of that. But I'm still proud of myself for making that. So we have come to the end of this video. If you have what do you think about all of these videos? If you watch any of them, give me some feedback in the comments. What do you think of any of these videos? Please chat to me all in the comments. I would love to know. I'd love to know what you think of the ranking, what you think of the videos. I just don't have a clue how this is going to go. I don't have a clue how this is going to go in my rankings. But if you got to the end of this video, leave me a video emoji, or like a film emoji. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, not subscribed, bring on my ding-a-ling. And also, let me know what out of these is my favourite video for you, because I would love to know. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, not subscribed, bring on my ding-a-ling. And I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.